And we're off. Looks like everything's fairly well synced up already. So that's good. So we go through the character creation sequence, and there's nothing really too special there. It's basically just a build a person. Nothing really exciting happens. But as we're going to find out fairly soon, we don't really actually have to worry about this. This is all just Toby messing with us again. Link losing a little bit of time there with a little bit of messing around on the naming there. So yeah, it's basically just telling us that your character creation is all for naught and that you don't get any choices in this game, so to speak. Or your choices don't count. So now you're going to see both runners doing the NG plus component of the run. They're going to be going back to bed and going straight to the Dark World, skipping out on the prologue sequence. You see both runners getting the wrist protector. And a lot of the tech to do with this run in particular revolves around movement, the wrist protector, and encounters. And encounters actually work a lot differently here than they do in Undertale, and the main example being in Undertale you don't see the encounters pop up for the most part, and you can usually flee from them straight away. Whereas with Deltarune you actually have encounter sprites pop up in the overworld, and you actually can't flee from them. And you saw Shay getting double movement speed bonus from the eye puzzle there, so it didn't actually lose momentum at all there. Shay having a little bit of a lead at the moment. Wrist Protector, what it does is it allows you to automatically mash away text at about 15 text boxes per second, which is roughly half the game's actual speed, considering the game runs at, I believe, 30 FPS. And obviously the runner still would opt to choose to mash Z and enter to help increase their mashing capabilities. So we get to see a little overworld chase sequence here, and obviously the runners are both trying to dodge the sprites that are falling on them, and both failing. So this is basically the first part of the run done. We're going to move into Castle Town now, and we're going to be meeting up with a few interesting characters soon. Also, I should have probably mentioned before, but the purple Barney looking thing is Susie, and Susie's kind of important to us later on. I won't go into detail, I'll leave that to when we get to that point. So we have Lancer on screen now, and Lancer is basically, well, yeah. So we're going to have both runners try and go for a 3-turn kill. It looks like Link misses the first turn, but they do get good Susie RNG. So we want to take damage on Susie as much as we can here, as that helps set up for the fight coming up later on. Oh, Shay missing on the third turn as well. That's unfortunate. And they're both basically about dead even now. Yes, Lancer is in fact 12. He's so young that he can't actually ride a motorcycle, so he has to put little burners on his bicycle. Oh, and by the way, the green fluffy goat boy thingy that we've just acquired, Ralsei, is our second natural party member. I'm sorry, it's been a really busy morning, so I may sound a little bit frazzled, so I'm going to try and I'll try and bring as good commentary as I can. But yeah, both runners basically about neck and neck at the moment, really. And coming up, you're going to see exactly what I mean when I talk about overworld encounter sprites. Luckily, they don't target our other party members, they only target Chris. So as long as they don't hit us, it's not a problem. And now we have a puzzle. And I think Shay may have had a little bit of janky movement there, so that's going to put him back a little bit, but there's not much of a difference between the two now. Both runners going into the half the encounter and they're sparing. They're acting, sorry, to make it spare. And they took damage, both of them took damage on the first turn. And the reason for that is... Oh, okay, and Shay apparently defended with the second Hathy, with the third Hathy there, sorry. But the reason we took damage on the first turn is it allows us to skip a little bit of dialogue. So, Link now has about a 5-6 second lead over Shay because of that little miss menu. But it is still within the first 6 minutes of the run, or first 6 minutes or so of the run, so it's still anyone's game. Yeah, a lot of the, well, I won't say a lot of the top level runners, but sometimes you get a little bit of movement issue with menuing and stuff for top level runners, so that's a thing that happens. Also, we're just going to completely bat K round away like it's, or C round like it's nothing. Shay opting for the defend strat there, so he's going to get a little bit of text here. And both runners at the Jigsaw fight. This is one of the other scripted encounters that we get in this area. Basically, apart from one encounter that's next to impossible to skip normally, most of the encounters that we get are all scripted, usually. Both runners opting to kill a Jigsaw on the first turn. You can defend and spare... Oh, there. You can defend on the first turn and have 2 Jigsaws left, which is slightly faster, I think. Let's see how Shay does it here. Yep. Both runners fairly close still. It's an interesting game at the moment. Oh, lucky there from Link. They clipped on the bottom left corner, but Shay making it nice and clean there. So the first Pom Man skip coming up here is kind of tight and fidgety, so you don't want to be bonking too often. And it looks like, yep, Link unfortunately getting caught there. Shay also getting caught. That's unfortunate. But at least both runners getting caught, so there's no time loss for one runner compared to the other. Shay also taking a bit of Susie damage there, which may help him with the carry-on fight coming up. Again, both runners, again, this is about a 5-second race at the moment, so it's still fairly close and it's still anyone's game. We may actually see a lead change going into the post-carry-on fight, depending on who gets Susie death. Because long story short, we actually want Susie to die during the carry-on fight, so it saves a little, about 5 or 6 seconds. Basically because we don't have to deal with Susie's attack animation. So you have the second Pom Man encounter area here. Link having a really good section there, and Shay also not bonking. We could see a lead change here, but it depends on RNG, because this is a... You get a 1 in 3 chance of Susie being attacked. And you've got 2 turns to do it, so it's basically a 1 in 3 twice. And first turn, no good for Link. Will Shay have any better luck? Okay, Shay has a Susie death. That's good. Oh, both runners getting Susie deaths. Oh, Link having the same thing that happened before when I was doing a practice run. They didn't take the damage at the right time, so they actually still have Susie up. Which is really unfortunate when that happens, but... So we do have a lead change now. Shay is in front. It's actually really unfortunate what happened there, because you normally only get... You normally get 2 to 3 attacks on Susie for each attack, so it's just really unfortunate for the timing on Link's part. Yeah, it's about a 3-second swing in Shay's favor now, so it's still a really close race, and there are a couple of skips here that can trip runners up. So, you know, it's still anyone's game. So let's see if Shay can get the clip here. Nope, unfortunately not. If you actually position yourself just right, you can actually clip through that diamond tail attack and not take any damage. So we skip this puzzle here because it has no meaning, and the puzzle we're about to do now, we get Clover after this. And with Clover, there's a little bit of tech you can do here where you use the manual twice and it counts as sparing, it counts as the spare condition. So we're going to use Ralsei to spare there, which 2 turn. So we're coming up to the blocks of skip here, and this is one of the few skips that's actually kind of fidgety and like actually is a pain to try and get consistently. Looks like Shay gets it, and we'll link both runners getting it. That's good. Now, are we going to see any ducks being built today? I think we're going to see at least one. But then again, given the close nature of this race, I think both runners will opt to take it a little bit more seriously and not go for the duck. Yep. Both runners going for the faster strat there, which, yep, I thought they would. I honestly think this run is going to come down to Head Hathy skip, which comes up a little bit later on in the card castle and is one of the actual hardest skips in the game to try and do. So we have both runners getting into the maze now, and we want to take the alternate pathway to what Lancer and Susie take because, well, Lancer doesn't know his way through and he always gets lost, and so does Susie apparently. So we're going to see both runners here because they got the first blocks to skip. Oh, that was close. Now, because Bloxer still retains their aggression if you skip them after they aggro on you the first time, you'll see, that's why you saw both runners hitting that right-hand wall before heading up. They wanted to wait a little bit so that they had enough space to be able to get through the area. And now we're having the tag team fight between, obviously, Chris and Ralsei versus Susie and Lancer. Hopefully both runners don't suffer any mismenus here. This is definitely shaping up to be an intense race. So the reason why we do Lancer twice, Susie once, Lancer twice is on the 4th turn it's actually faster to have Lancer's attack than the Susie Lancer combo attack. Hello, what is going on, Prism? Welcome to the race. We have quite the entertaining race on our hands at the moment. Both runners within about 5 seconds of each other at this point in, so we're about the halfway point now. I should mention it's only about a 30-minute run as well because, well, it's only chapter 1. So now we're coming up to the Run and Ranger chase, or as I like to call it, that part of the run I don't want to remember. Yeah, it's literally 3 seconds apart at the moment between the runners. And if both runners get Head Happy Skip and Run and Ranger Skip without any hassles, then this is going to be a really tight race. We saw Link practicing quite intensely with the Head Happy Skip before, so they may have a better shot at getting it, but at the end of the day, it's a lot different in a race setting than it is practicing. Because there's no do-overs. So, oh, looks like Link's having a few lag spikes. Oh no, there we go. That's fixed. I think somehow Link lost a little bit of time there. They're about 7 or 8 seconds behind now, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with frame drops. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So we don't really have too much happening here. It's just basically an auto-scroller, if you want to call it that. It's basically a forced fight between Susie and Lancer because Susie wants to... Well, Lancer thinks that Susie and the gang are going to kill Lancer's dad, and Susie doesn't really want Lancer to stop them. So now we have a little mini game where it's basically just, you know, who can get full 100% on the TP meter, who can become the true pacifist. Looks like Shay is off to a good start. Looks like Shay might have got it. Link might have a bit of trouble. Yeah, I think Link may be a bit short there, but Shay should be able to get it. They have more. They have at least 2 turns left. Yep, Shay gets it. Link might be a couple of percentage points short, which is unfortunate. It doesn't really count anything. It doesn't really count for anything. It's just kind of a meme at this point. So let's see what the time difference is between the two. So it's about 11 seconds difference at the moment between the two runners, and this is have the TP meter be the tiebreaker if necessary. Well, at this point in the run, it's either going to be Head Happy Skip or one of the runners making a crucial mistake later on. Link, I think, got 98%, if not 97. 98, yeah. There's still a couple of areas where the runners can make execution mistakes, but for the most part, it's going to come down to who gets Head Happy Skip, I think. Both runners having a similar endgame strat to each other. Shay opting to go for the slower but more safe Run and Ranger skip method. Link might be able to gain a little bit of time. Yep, they're going for the faster method. But they also get caught, which is unfortunate. You don't want to get caught there. That means you have to reset it. But they do get the faster method, and it looks like there's a few more frame drops coming up. Now we're going to see if Shay gets hit Hathy skip. Doesn't quite get it, that's unfortunate. And because he didn't equip the shackles before he got to this encounter, he's actually going to have to do 2 critical hits here instead of equipping the shackles and getting 1 critical hit and 1 near critical hit. But it doesn't matter, Shay does get the criticals. Both runners getting 2 turn hit Hathys, so it's still really anyone's game. It just comes down. It's going to come down to the king fight now. But Shay does have a bit of a lead. So he's going to get the axe from the rules card shop, and he's going to equip the axe and the shackle on Susie. And we're going to come up to the second K round fight, and this is basically, yeah, the same strat does work, but it takes less time. And because we have Susie being more cooperative with us, we actually have Susie coming up with the idea to throw Ralsei at the crown, aka yeeting the goat boy. And I said yeeting, not eating. I apologize for my bad accent. And Shay getting a pretty good K round fight there. Link, I think, is having a few frame drops on their end. So, apologies for the choppy stream there. Hopefully it's... No, if you're fast enough when you move around after the post-K round fight, the crown actually sort of casually floats off towards one side of the screen and goes out of bounds. So Shay opting to do the red buster setup on turn 1 instead of turn 2. But it doesn't really matter either way. Both runners, in fact, opting to do the red buster setup on first turn. Yes, if Shay gets an 11 turn and if Shay loses 1 turn to king, this is going to be at least a 3-second race. It's going to depend on everyone's movement and execution of the red buster strat. And looks like both runners getting really good TP grazing at the moment. So looking like Shay's on 10 turn pace. If this graze goes well, he'll get another red buster, but I don't think... No, there we go. He does get it. 10 also getting the red buster there on the previous turn. Okay, this is an 11 turn for Shay. If Link pulls off a 10 turn here, this is going to be a really close race. Nope, and it looks like Link also getting an 11 turn, so it's basically at this point Shay's race to lose. So there's not really a lot that goes on in this little sequence here. I don't think Shay's going to go for that. I don't think Shay's going to be that much of a meme, considering how close the race is. Also, on Shay's screen, we see a big reveal that Ralsei is actually a similar being to Azrael. Whether or not that's intended, or whether Ralsei is actually a different being altogether, we don't know. Are they speedrunning this game on Tandy 1000s? Well, they're running it on their... It's being run on PC. I'm not too sure if that was what that was meant to be, but yeah, I apologize. But yeah, they're running it on PC. Deltarune's actually a free to download, well, the Chapter 1 demo is a free to download game. Just look up deltarune.com. And yeah. So these are probably both... Yeah, sorry, I have a tendency of not picking up on sarcasm too well, so again, I apologize. This is looking like it's going to be high 27s for both runners. Maybe a 2740, 2750 for Shay, and probably a low 28 for Link. $27.48 for Shay, and that's him done. And Link is going to get a 28.03. So a really close race between both runners, considering their respective PBs. And now we're just going to wait for a little bit and see if both runners want to come in and do post-match comms. Or... Okay, it's looking like we have Link waiting in the setup area.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm coping.
Okay.
That was a really close race between you two. I mean, it was 15 seconds in it, considering for the most part, was less than 5 seconds for the most part.
Yeah, I was really close. I'm just disappointed I missed Pawn Man skip.
I mean, yeah, Shay got caught up in that first one as well, so you didn't really lose any time there.
Yeah, that's true. But if I did get it, I did have the chance of winning.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there are a few things that if one of you had got over the other, you probably would have had a different result.
Yeah, for sure.
Just gonna see if Shay is gonna be... Because if not, let me just check the schedule real quick, because I believe we don't have anything for about another hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just waiting on... Shay, if you're in chat watching this somehow and you want to do post-match, please do come into the server now and join the voice. Oh, hello. You snuck in. You snuck in on me.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, GG to both runners. It was a really close race, and honestly, it could have gone either way right up till the very end of the king fight. And like some people in chat were even saying, if Shay got one more turn than Link, then it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But then both runners getting 11 turn, that pretty much, well, at that point,
Yeah.
there's not really a lot of time.
Oh my
here.
god, that was...
Yeah, that was intense.
The beginning of that run was a pretty big monk ass.
Yeah.
Coming out of field 17 seconds behind, and then I missed Pawnman skip. I'm like, oh god. But turns out, missing Pawnman skip actually let me get first turn Susie kill because she didn't take any damage until that fight. And then they ran attack on the first turn. I was like, yep, I knew it.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of lucky. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Link, unfortunately, with their Susie death, they didn't quite get her because they had 70 HP and took 2 hits on the second attack, but didn't quite get the third in time.
I had like 8 health or something.
That's unlucky.
Yeah,
GG's. I thought that was a pretty good race.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds between the two of you, that's not
That
really
happy
too
skip
bad.
sucks.
Yeah. I was practicing it for like 2 hours today, but I didn't get it.
I golded my forest split, but other than that, everything else kind of was okay. But
so
yeah,
Shay, you'll be moving on to face Enzo HT, and Link, you'll be dropping down into the bottom half of the bracket now, and I believe, let me just find it, 49. Okay, you've got a bit of a wait for your next match. There's still 2 brackets before you to be. There's still 2 brackets leading up to your match to be done.
Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna face. I don't know actually.
Well, I mean, it's probably too early to tell, anyways, because like I said, there's still the
Yeah.
first bracket match, and then there's one more after that. So it's.
oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to change the music files back before the race. How'd y'all like that?
So any last thoughts you want to add to the post match, or are you guys just about sort of ready to wrap up?
Yeah, I'm
About
good.
ready to get out of here. Honestly, I need to go get ready for work.
Nice.
GG's.
GG.
GG to both runners, and
Goodbye
thank you to
forever.
Speed Gaming. Thank you to Speed Gaming for having us on the stream. Please do stay tuned, because in about an hour and 20 minutes there is another race between, ironically enough, myself and Laurie D. Bunnykins. It's at 6 PM Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for coming in and stopping by, watching the race. If you like what you saw, we do have a Discord and a really helpful community and a whole bunch of resources to help out any aspiring runners. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you in about an hour and 15 minutes. But yeah, again, thanks for having us, and we'll see you guys later.